Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode where you always get real and amazing relationship and marriage talk. So, to the ladies now, please let's talk. Because some of you are in relationships that are draining your peace, killing your confidence, and even stalling your destiny. In today's episode, let's dive into clear signs that if he does these things, then he's not the one. So hit the like button and let's dive in what we have for today's episode. But of course, before I begin, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also like and comment on my videos as well. Thank you so much for that. Dear ladies, if he makes you feel insecure about yourself, my dear, he's not the one. He's always comparing you to other women, always using you to crack immoral jokes at your expense, always mocking you, criticizes your looks, throwing mockery statements at you all the time, crack jokes all the time at your expense. My dear, if he does these things, he's not the one, definitely. There are some relationships where the guy will be mocking his own girlfriend, his own woman, because of her body size. A guy will be in a relationship with a woman, a fat lady. You know that she's fat. You saw her that she was fat before you asked her to be your woman. Now that you guys are in a relationship, you always criticize her. You throw insulting and mocking statements at her every time. You make statements like you will actually look better if you actually lost some weight like my ex. What kind of statement is that? Oh, your ex is slim. Why can't you go and date your ex? Why can't you leave that woman and go and date the woman, the kind of woman you want? Not right at all. That is emotional abuse. It is not love. It is not a joke. So a man that makes you feel insecure all the time like that, my dear, that man does not love you. So please do not put yourself in such a relationship. If not, you will end up losing yourself. Because if you love a guy and the guy doesn't love you back and he doesn't even treat you well, he can make you hate yourself. Because imagine a fat lady now. Imagine that fat lady now that is in a relationship with a guy that always mocks her because of her body size. That woman can develop low self-esteem because of those things that the guys keep saying. So please, any man that you're in a relationship with that regularly makes you feel insecure about yourself, he is not the one. If he ghosts you when things get serious, my dear, he's not the one. Anytime the relationship gets serious and is moving forward, he disappears. No communication, no explanation, nothing. That's really bad. You're trying to have conversations about the future with him, future plans, maybe marriage or something. He becomes too busy. He begins to give you attitude. He becomes unreachable. If he's always dodging commitment conversations all the time, my dear, he's not the one. Because it's either he's not ready for that commitment or he doesn't want to. If he has no vision for his life, my dear, he's not the one. Because a man without vision is a man without direction. And a man that has no direction will even derail your own purpose as a woman. He will derail your own vision if you have any as a woman. For example, you're in a relationship with a guy, and anytime you ask him, the few times you've asked him questions like, okay, what are your plans for the future? What are your future goals? Like in the nearest future, what are your plans? What are your goals? What are your visions? And he begins to make statements like, I don't really think about stuff like that. Let's just keep going. A full-fledged adult man does not have any plan or any vision for him. He just keeps living his day in, day out. He's just living his life like that, my dear. He's not the one. Because a man, a serious man, should have a vision for himself. He should have plans for the future. No matter how little those plans are, he should at least have those plans and be able to have conversation about those plans with you as well. So yes, it is very important that a man has vision for himself, for his family. If that man does not respect you as a woman, my dear, he's not the one. Yes, respect is reciprocal. You as a woman, you have to respect the man, but the man has to also learn to respect you as his woman. Yes. So if a man doesn't respect you, my dear, that's a red flag. Take it from me. The man should respect you as his woman. If a man talks over you, he dismisses you, always suppresses your voice, he doesn't allow you to express yourself. Anytime you're even trying to express your feelings, you're trying to express maybe how something hurts you or something, you're just trying to express yourself, he's still trying to dismiss you, to talk over you, to suppress your voice all the time, my dear. That's indeed a red flag. Some women will be seeing such men as men, all those authoritative type of men that they're trying to display leadership. My dear, that is not leadership. That is not true leadership. That is control. It is not the same thing. When someone is trying to be a good leader, you can still be a good leader and still respect your woman. Nobody dragging head of the house with you. You're just the one that is trying to be authoritative. So if he's like that, my dear, he's not the one, because that is indeed a red flag. A man that shamelessly flirts with other women, whether in your presence or in your absence, and shamelessly opens his mouth to say that it's harmless, my dear, he's not the one. Because a man that dishonors you like that can never protect you. That is high class dishonor. Especially if he does it like in your presence. Jesus, that's even the worst. So my dear, especially, do you know that there are even some men that will even flirt with their woman's friends and still say it is nothing, like they did not do it. Like, please, if he does such thing, he is not the one, because it means that he doesn't respect you. He's flirting you with your friends, or flirting with his own friends or colleagues right in front of you. My dear, he's definitely not the one, because such a man does not love you. If he lacks accountability, my dear, that is high level red flag. When a man lacks accountability, my dear, he's not the one. Anytime he's facing one problem or the other, it is always on you. In fact, all his problems is always on you. It's always your fault. Everything that happens to him, every bad thing that happens to him is your fault. My dear, hey, if you stay with such a man, you will suffer. Because such a thing can cause emotional trauma. Living with a man that always accuses you of everything, even something that is obviously not your fault. He's having a bad day, it's on you, it's your fault. Maybe he lost his job, it's your fault. He lost maybe money, it's your fault. Even when he cheats, it is still your fault. He just finds a way to make it your fault. And next thing you see him, he's not even sorry. You see him, you hear him making statements like, I cheated on you because you're always nagging at me. So that is now his excuse. That is a man that lacks accountability. So my dear, if it's something that you cannot handle, please come out of such toxic relationship. Because if he's already displaying such character at the very beginning of that relationship, how will it be when you guys get married? Accountability is a very serious virtue that a man should possess. Everybody, both the man and the woman, but a man should be accountable. Everybody should be accountable for their actions. So it is very, very important. Do not overlook such red flag. Once people hear that word stinginess, their mind always goes to money. But there are other things that people can be stingy with apart from money. A person can be stingy with efforts, can be stingy with time, and of course money as well. So if he's stingy with time, effort, and of course, very important, money, my dear, he's not the one. Love is not about just spending, spending, spending. It's also about showing up. You should not be stingy with time for your own woman as a man. Yes. If that man only spends on you when it is highly convenient for him, it simply means you're not a priority, you're just an option. See, there are so many stingy men out there. There are people that are stingy. You know that this man has the money. You see him making expenses on things that needs to be done. Yes, fine and good. But you know that, okay, you have observed that this man doesn't give to you. Love gives. Love is all about sacrifice. But you have seen that man, he finds it very difficult to give to you. You see him giving people money. He will give to this person, give to family, good. Give to friends, good. Spend on himself, spend on his house and all of those things, good. But you know that he has the money. But anytime it comes to giving you his woman, he has a lot of stories in his mouth, a lot of excuse to give. That is stinginess. And it's definitely a red flag. Because a man that cannot give to you, now that you guys are still in a relationship, will he be able to give to you when you guys get married? My dear, please, that is definitely a red flag. So you have to be careful. A man that is stingy, when a man is very, very stingy with time, effort, and money, he's not the one. If he will not introduce you to his circle, his friends and family, my dear, he's not the one. You're in a relationship, you've been in a relationship with a guy for years. None of his friends, when I mean none of his friends, none of his family members know that you exist. My dear, that is definitely a red flag. When I mean none, I mean none of his friends, at least friends first. Definitely a red flag. And anytime you talk to him about it, he's like, I like to keep my personal life private. My dear, that's a big lie. You like to keep your personal life private, fine and good, but there are still very close friends that he should be proud of to introduce his woman to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are people that are like that. They like to keep their personal life private, fine and good, beautiful. But at least, this is a woman that you say you're in a serious relationship with. At least there should come a time in your relationship when you should be able to introduce that woman to at least your best friend. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not talking about people that just started their relationship yesterday, a month ago, or a few months ago. I'm talking about people that have dated for years and they have not gotten to a certain stage in their relationship. That man should be able to introduce you to his circle, no matter how private he likes keeping his personal life. If he has no relationship with God and he doesn't even want one, he's not the one. He doesn't have any business with spiritual things, he's not the one. Like I always say in my videos, the spiritual controls the physical. So the spiritual life of every single woman being matters a lot. So anytime you bring up conversations about spiritual things and he begins to make statements like, that's not my thing, my dear, you have to think about it. Think about it and find out the reason why it's not his thing. The spiritual life of your marriage, of your own spiritual life is very, very important. It matters more than you think. So do not allow love to blind your eyes to things that you should pay attention to now that you guys are still in the relationship stage. If he has unresolved anger issues, this is not just a red flag, it's a warning signal. You have to run for your life. Anytime he's angry, he's always punching walls. He shouts over little things, always angry, uses anger to even control you. It's only a matter of time before such character becomes very, very dangerous. Even to little things like when he calls you and you don't pick immediately, it becomes a problem. He begins to shout at you, abuse you, insult you, disrespect you just because he did not pick his call. And it's not something that has happened once. or twice, not even 3 times. In fact, it happens all the time. Run for your life. You know, the thing is that in some relationships, in some marriages where domestic violence is seen, at the relationship stage, there were signs. Not all marriages. So at the relationship stage, there were signs. Just that sometimes the women, I don't know, should I say love blind their eyes or something? I don't know. Let's just say that. Okay, love. Out of love, sometimes out of pity. Some women feel like that such a man will still change. A man that has unresolved anger issues will definitely display domestic violence when you guys finally get married. So, my dear, it is better for you to call off that relationship now that you guys are still in the relationship stage, than for you to allow such unresolved anger issues to mature into domestic violence. Please, my dear, the earlier the better. When he doesn't celebrate you, that is definitely a red flag. He is intimidated by your success. That is definitely a red flag. It is not something you should overlook, because a man that cannot clap for you is secretly competing with you. Think about it, because it's happening in so many marriages. The woman is making moves in her career, her business is going really well, and anytime she tells the husband, at the relationship stage, now let's talk about the relationship stage. You're in a relationship with a guy and you have seen signs that he's intimidated by your success, because anytime you tell him good news about your career, about your business, he's always sad. There's this energy, there's this negative vibe that he gives to you, and you've noticed it countless times. Now, my dear, that is the red flag. Because a man that is already intimidated by your success at the relationship stage will behave worse when you guys get married. That's why you see so many marriages like that. Once the woman is making progress, the man feels intimidated, and before you know it, issues begins to arise in the marriage. So, my dear, that is definitely a red flag. Especially when you've tried to resolve the issue, make him understand, you've tried to, talk to him about it so that it can stop in that relationship, but still you have come to realize that he is always intimidated by your sex, my dear, that is indeed a red flag. If a man is a chronic liar, my dad, that is a red flag. He lies so much, even about little things, to the least things that he's not even supposed to lie about. So you understand, he will still lie, even to something as little as what he ate, or maybe who he was with. He's still lying. My dear, think twice. A man that is a chronic liar, you should ask yourself, if you're in a relationship with such a guy, you should ask yourself if you can handle such. Because a man that lies like that, can he handle your heart? That is what you need to ask yourself. If he's always bringing up his ex all the time, that is definitely a red flag, because it simply means that he's still emotionally entangled with his ex. And a man that is still emotionally entangled with his ex can never love you fully. For example, anytime you guys have little misunderstandings or disagreements in your relationship, it always ends with, if it was my ex now, she will never do this kind of thing to me. My dear, you're not his therapist. Come out of such toxic relationship, because that man is definitely still emotionally entangled with his ex. Like every time, it's not something that he has done just once or twice. Anytime you guys have misunderstanding, he must always mention his ex. That is a red flag. In fact, he's not the one. If he has no boundaries with other women, my dear, that's definitely a red flag. Why? Because emotional cheating is real. Emotional cheating is still cheating. Emotional cheating will even lead to the real cheating. So as a man, you as the woman, you have to learn to set boundaries with other men. The man also has to learn to set boundaries with other women. This is very important. If he never apologizes to anyone, especially you, no matter what, he can never apologize. all he does is to justify his actions, my dear, that is definitely a red flag. You have to ask yourself if you can handle such. Because, my dear, think about it. Real men own up to their mistakes. They take responsibility for their actions. So if that man always, anytime he's supposed to apologize, he's always explaining himself, my dear, that is pride. A man that doesn't apologize is emotionally immature, especially when he doesn't apologize to you, his woman. And finally, for today's episode, if you're not at peace in that relationship, your spirit is not just settled, your mind doesn't just accept that relationship, you're always anxious about, there's something uncertain about that relationship, about that man, then it's possible that he's not the one. So yes, it could be a red flag when your spirit doesn't just accept the person. Now, this is for maybe at the early stage of the relationship, you're getting to know him, but your mind doesn't accept him. Yes, you could conclude that he's not the one and come out of such relationship. Not when you guys have been in the relationship for years and you guys are already emotionally entangled and you have been eating his money, enjoying his money, and now that he's proposing to you, you open your mouth to say that your spirit does not accept the relationship. I've seen such a thing before, my dear. That man will deal with you. Don't try such. That's wickedness. That's not what I'm talking about. So that you don't misunderstand me. You don't twist my words. No, I'm not saying, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you guys are getting to know each other, just got into a relationship with this guy, but your mind is uncertain. You know, when you're not sure about the feelings, you're not at peace with the guy. You can come out of the relationship. You can take your time. You can, talk to him about it, that kind of thing. So please pay attention to red flags in your relationship. Ladies, please listen. Love should not make you question your worth, your beauty, your sanity. So if he does these things I've just mentioned, it is not for you to declare Operation Fix Him. It is for you to free yourself. You should be in a relationship with someone that completes you, not someone that confuses you. With someone that is willing to build with you, not someone that will break you. So if he does not fit into that position, why not let him go and save yourself? Be at peace. You should be at peace when you're in a relationship with someone. That is what love is all about. So that is all for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Thanks so much for listening. And please do not forget to subscribe. All those that have not subscribed, please kindly subscribe to my channel. To all those that have subscribed, thank you so much. Also like and comment on my videos as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you in another episode with Rusi Baby. Bye.